Doesn't Flakes always say that people should play 1v1 to get better at Rocket League? Isn't that a Flakes like saying? He does, right? I hear this all the time. Whenever I'm doing replay reviews, people are like, Flakes says you should play 1v1 to get better at Rocket League. Do you want to know the real secret? Flakes has been lying to you guys. He's been, okay, maybe not lying, but he's been twisting the truth. Scrub too? Okay, then you know it's definitely not true. I'll tell you guys the secret. Do you guys want to know the secret to becoming better at Rocket League, to getting better at Rocket League? It's not playing 1v1, it's playing Rocket League. That's how you get better at Rocket League. You play Rocket League. Doesn't matter what level you're at. You play Rocket League, you're going to get better at Rocket League eventually. Oh, it didn't work? Play more Rocket League. That's how you get better at Rocket League. But yeah, what Flakes is referring to when he says play more 1v1 to get better at Rocket League is kind of like advancing a very specific skill set more quickly than if you didn't play 1v1. Predominantly challenges, shadowing in defense, your positioning in defense, when to go for boost and when not to go for boost, a low boost defense. You know, all these things are really, really. Um, I think any weaknesses in those aspects of the game become very, very obvious when you play 1v1, and then you're forced to improve on them. So you get to improve on, yeah, your challenges mainly and your decision making significantly because you don't have a teammate there to put in, like when you miss an open net by hitting the post, you don't have a teammate behind you to come and put it in for you. Like how many times have you missed a shot in 2v2 or 3v3 by hitting the post and you could have just scored it, the goal's wide open, you hit the post instead, but then your teammate right behind you scores and you immediately forget that you missed an open net. You don't even think of that because you thought, it's fine, teammate scored, big deal. But in 1v1 you don't get that. If you miss the open net, you miss the open net, you're probably getting scored on. So your mistakes start to get highlighted a lot more, and it kind of forces you to learn various things a lot faster. Flakes says it's good to practice ones because you practice basic mechanics, 50s, flicks, recoveries, dribbling. Um, as for, well, flicks and dribbling, yeah, recoveries and 50s, I 100% agree. Flicks and dribbling, yes, somewhat. And the reason I say somewhat is because when you play 1v1, you can get away with doing it wrong. Like, I'll give you guys a quick example before we get into replay reviews. This is why I don't think that 1v1 is the best way to learn how to dribble. If you're going into 1v1 so you can learn how to dribble more effectively in 2v2 and 3v3, you're probably not going to have a success transitioning from one to the other. The reason is, okay, this is something that happens in 1v1 all the time. We get the ball in our back corner, and the other player, because they're a low-rated player, they just run all the way back to their half. They go to their goal. And then at that point, you've got all the time in the world. You've got the whole pitch, and most people will go, okay, we've got ages. Let's get the ball on top of our car, and then we're gonna start dribbling like this. Oh, balancing the ball, balancing the ball. Okay, dropped it. Gonna pick it up again. Okay, right, we're getting there. Okay, and oh, okay, nice. We drove the ball into their net in slow motion. You know, like that's not how you learn how to dribble. You learn how to dribble under pressure. So you can learn how to dribble in 1v1 to make to improve your 2v2 and 3v3 dribbling. But you have to go in with the correct mindset. You go in not to ball carry and be really precise and slow and doing this kind of thing, because this doesn't work in 2v2 and 3v3. You're just going to get demoed from behind if you do that. So you've got to dribble fast. You've got to pretend that there's a defender behind you trying to demo you. If you want your dribbles of what in 1v1 to help your 3v3 and 2v2 game, then you need to pretend that you're being demoed from behind. Pretend that somebody is chasing you. And now dribble. Now go for it. And you're probably going to get scored on a bit, and you're probably like going to mess up a little, but it's the only way that dribbling skill is going to transition the same way. But yeah. That's my only thing I would kind of disagree on. I think that if you want to improve at dribbling in 2v2 and 3v3, you should dribble in 2v2. Practice dribbling in 2v2. It's way more easy to transition. Or it's way more easy to learn how to dribble effectively in 2v2 That's one thing in 1v1 that doesn't really translate as well. What probably does translate really well, like the offensive skill. Okay, I'll let you guys guess. What offensive skill do you think is the most Well, actually, there's two. There are two offensive plays that you can practice in 1v1 that will transition into the other game modes, and you get to practice them way more when you play 1v1. Two plays. Bounce, dribble, and bumping, power shots. Somebody got it right. Scoring open nets. There's first one. Open nets. Open nets is the first one. That is something that you will have to do in 1v1. Like I said earlier, in team games, a lot of the time when you miss an open net, you've just got a teammate behind you. Like, there we go. I just missed an open net. My teammate will probably just rebound it in. You don't even know that your open net shooting's bad. You don't even realize that you're an inaccurate player because it ended up in a goal anyway. But 1v1, you get like a lot of the goals that you're going to score will be open nets, and you need to hit the ball hard and accurately, or else it's not a goal. You need to be able to hit the ball hard on target from any position on the field, and that's a really valuable thing that 1v1 will teach you better than other game modes. I don't think flicks and dribbling necessarily translate. If you want to get better at flicks and dribbling in 1v1, yeah, just do that in 1v1, but it doesn't really translate very well to the other game modes, in my opinion. The second one is aerial offense. The other thing that you probably won't realize when you do aerial plays in 2v2 and 3v3 is that your recoveries might be horrendous. And the reason why you can get away with it in 2v2 and 3v3 is because you've got a teammate. So let's say that we do something like this. How many times have you guys done this kind of thing in 2v2 and 3v3 where you just like lump the ball forward at the back wall and hope that something good happens? This happens every single game. People will do this. They're just like, yeah, you know what? That'll do. They're like flopping all over the place, and then the ball will bounce up like this, and people will go, ah, yeah, look at me go. I'm amazing, and they just basically boom the ball across the other team's box for no reason. Now, if you try to do that kind of thing in 1v1, you get scored on. You start to realize, wait, that's not a good idea. That really didn't help at all. That just made my position 20 times worse. So your offensive aerial game will become a lot more well-rounded. Your recoveries will become a lot more well-rounded if you do these kind of things in 1v1, because you realize, okay, if I'm going to attack this ball, I need to dodge in this particular direction so I can recover more quickly. I can't just, dodge into the wall like this because my car's going to land in the middle of nowhere and be really slow. So yeah, those are the two offensive things that 1v1 helps. Aerials, any kind of aerial play into a good recovery that's not going to get you scored on, and open nets. So basically the opposite of what people associate with 1v1. People associate 1v1 with dribbling and bounce dribbling and shooting and stuff. But if your sole purpose of playing ones is so that you can get better at dribbling and shooting in 2v2, I think you're probably going to struggle, like I already said, because you don't have as much time on the ball as you do in the other game modes. Or you have way too much time on the ball, I should say. The other thing is what I meant the other way around. Yeah, I'd say for most players, just play what's most fun for you. In answer to the question, what kind of replay to send, just send me a replay of a game that the best replay to send is one that is just a game that you're not sure what you could have done better, or you're not sure how to deal with an opponent, another team, or a teammate, or, it's a game that you were not sure what to do differently. You're like, oh man, I don't know how to. You literally are lost for what to do to win that game. Sometimes you'll play a game, you'll miss 5 open nets, and you'll score 5 own goals. I don't think you need me to tell you what you did wrong in that game. That's pretty obvious. Stop own goaling. Stop missing open nets. Stop missing the ball. If the reason you lost a game is as simple as that, you probably don't need me to tell you that. But if you're really confused, if you think you played a great game and you still lost, and you don't know what you're supposed to do, you think your teammate played a great game and you guys still got beaten, those are the kind of games that I can usually provide some insight on. But yeah, long story short, no, I was kind of debating you guys. Flakes isn't lying to you. That was just bait. Yeah, that was just bait. Plus, I don't really know. I've never actually talked to Flakes about any of these topics. I've only I've only read my Twitch chat saying, repeating things he said. And I don't know if the things that are being repeated are true or not. That was just memes. I'm sure he does a great job with replay analysis. Even if all the clips I've seen are just him roasting the living daylights out of people. Which I also think is great content.